Yeah, absolutely. And okay, guys. So first of all, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. We have people from all over the world. And this meeting has been organized by, it's actually a mutual meeting of weekly fasting group and dry fasting group. So we are doing it together. And we have the members from both of the group here. And if you want to know more details about both of those groups, you will find the details below this video. So first of all, hi everyone. We have Dorothy, we have Mala, hi Mala, Penny, Raju, Sushma, Vasudeva. Great to see all of you. Great to have all of you guys. We expect more people to join. Yeah, and today we have Frederick, and we will be discussing the subject of his coming fast. Yeah, so Frederick, as I understand, your plan or your vision is to conduct a fast every few months, like prolonged fasts, right?
That's right. That's really correct.
Yeah, so could you please extend, first of all, in a general way about this vision? How often would you conduct those fasts, and how long they should be, and so whatever you want to share.
Yeah. Thank you, Arik, for having me here. I'm
Thank you.
really excited to be here with you.
We too.
And uh, our idea is just what is recommended. The idea of the fast is what is recommended. We want to have the habit of fasting monthly. This monthly fast, we started it actually a year. It's not yet a year ago, but last year towards the end of the year, November, December. That's when this idea came into my mind that, oh, we need something like this because we have been having almost now a year the weekly fast.
Mm-hmm.
And the importance of the weekly fast cannot be overemphasized. It is one of the most important because everything has a beginning. Everything has a beginning. You can't just jump into something when you don't have its roots, and the roots of this prolonged fast are in starting with small steps. Small steps, and one of those steps is weekly fast. So when we have done our weekly fast, then people, it's like a school where you come from one level to another level. So when you have done your weekly fast for some time, for a number of times, and you have understood the fasting itself, you have understood how dry fast works, you have now known what the changes happens in you, what to expect from a dry fast, then now you get that desire because the desire to do a longer one. When now you have the desire to do a longer and a prolonged fast, then now you can do what we are doing. We can now do the monthly fast, which is basically between 3 to 5 days, 3 to 5 days per month. But our timings are different. The seasons are different because fasting also works better with some seasons. There are people who sometimes I have in the group that are in a very hot climate at this time. The weather is quite hot and the temperatures are quite high. They are not. It's not good to force yourself into a dry fast at that point. So you just limit yourself to shorter fast. Sometimes you can even do water fast, little by little. So depending on where you are, depending on there are so many factors around prolonged fast. So you just don't just get into the fast. You just don't get into the fast. That's the reason why we put it open for everyone. Some others are learning, others have experienced, others have want to try, others are graduating from the from weekly 1 day fast. They want now to prolong it. And I think that's the exact meaning of this group. That's exactly why we started this group. So that is a foundation. That's the basics of this fast. Exactly, Arik.
Okay, very good, very good. But I read that this particular fast of June, it's gonna be for 2 weeks, right? Not just 3 to 5 days. So how does it work, this length of fasting?
So I have placed it under for a duration of 2 weeks, maximum of 14 days. This is not total fasting all these days.
Ah, okay.
We are not fasting all those days.
Because
Actually,
I thought that your plan was to actually fast for 2 weeks. So you see, it's very, very good that we are conducting this webinar so that we can
we
clarify all
can
those things.
exactly. So what we'll do, because the recommended total number of days of fast, which should be under supervision or coaching, is those 11, 12 days. So we are supposed to know that before the fast there's preparation. But the reason I'm taking it to 14, if you are very sensitive, you'll realize that even in Dr. Filolov's mountain where he conducts the fast, he doesn't release those people immediately. Somebody just got to the ninth day and then bye-bye. Also, you have finished the course. No. Even Satmaga that we have had here, think twice now. They don't, the people come to their camps, they don't release them immediately. That's why we were talking about 14 days. So 14 days is part of the fast because your body is still working on itself. Your body's still working on itself. Yeah. So the last 3 days, there's like part of the fast, but what you're going to be doing, you need now to know what to eat, how to treat yourself carefully, what to drink, all those things, and put them under this fasting time. That's why I'm saying 14-day period. But the fasting, the actual fast, most I think the people who are planning 7 within that 14 days, others are planning 5, others 9. So the plan is different from one person to another. Yeah, but I've not gotten a person planning 11 or 10 yet. I will have think 9 and 7 and 5. So that is exactly what we are doing. And somebody who's doing like 5 days, if he wants to go within these 14 days, 5 days, it's okay. So it's just okay. Can just go maybe for 5 days. The first day you rest for about how many days now? 3 to 4 days or 5. Then you finish the last one with 4 days or 5 days again. So it's all upon you, but it all depends on the person. Because I also like that fractionated way of fasting, where fractional fasting, where you have breaks. It works wonders. It works wonders.
Yeah. So Frederick, so I understand that the starting date of the fast is the same for everyone, but then everyone can go whatever length of fasting they want, pretty much, right?
Exactly. So you can everyone can go the length of time they wish, but we are limiting ourselves to a maximum of 11. If you can reach 12, no problem. That is still within the 14 days. We are not going beyond that time.
I see.
Exactly. Yeah.
I see. Okay. So in this way, it makes it possible to pretty much for everyone to participate and to assess their personal strength and willingness. So pretty much everyone can participate in that.
Yeah, even a person who wants to go for one day, you can you can do like this. You can go one day today, tomorrow you rest. The next day you do a fast, another day you rest. Like that. Another one can take these 14 days this way, 2 days fast, 2 days rest. It's called cascade. 2 days fast, 2 days rest. So it's not really rigid to just fasting straight days and nights up to the 14th night. No. It's just that within this time, we will be now fasting, and we have placed into the group so that people should know at this time we can help each other very well, because this is a time that we are now doing a group fast together within this period. So after that, maybe if you have individual fast, because I've also seen something in the group which should be very clearly communicated. Sometimes people want to fast their own fasting. Somebody wants a personal time of fasting, and then he feels, okay, who is joining me? This thing, I found it in Facebook, it's very common. Who is joining me? So it's requesting anybody to join. It's okay, but sometimes we need our body to rest. You can't be joining people every now and then. Because people, if we don't have a clear timing for all of us. That's why you're calling one group fast, fasting together.
Yes.
If you have your own time, we may not fast with you. That time maybe we'll be resting. Maybe that time we'll be rebuilding our body. So we can't be fasting with everyone inviting us. Me, I'll be fasting this time. Can you join me? Me, I'll be fasting this time. No, we want something uniform. We want something that we can go all together with. So if you want, actually, this time is the best time even for coaching. This is why we just coach as we go all along together in the group, and we share what we are, our experiences, what we are passing through, what we have. It's really important we do things sometimes together. And I think you look at how Dr. Philov does his work. He doesn't do one person supervision. He gives them a specific date. People come, they have to arrange themselves and come during this time. I'll be available. I'll take care of you. I'll supervise you. And people come from different places. And this also gives us the ability to do what? Encourage one another. This is a time that, okay, me, I'm fasting. I've reached this level. This is the challenge I have now. This is what I'm feeling now. I don't know if this is okay. Should I continue the fasting? Should I break it? What should I do now? Maybe I have shortness of breath. What should I do? I have measured my heart rate. It is measuring this. What should I do? Things like that. If I have dizziness, those are the things we share. Those are the things we share. We have already shared about the preparation, which is this week. This week it was opened for preparation for proper cleansing of the intestinal. And we shared in the group. People have options of what they can do. There are options of what they can do for cleaning. So it is becoming more, we may not see it now, but this is becoming something big. It's becoming something very big. Arik, it's becoming very, very big.
I know.
Yeah,
it looks like that.
Exactly.
It looks like that. Very interesting, Frederick. Yeah, it really opens up like the whole picture of what you are saying. So good that we are conducting this webinar and having you here. Now tell me, so if you have an average person who has been fasting, let's say 1 day a week or something like that, and now he wants to, or she wants to prolong, to go to the next step and to join you, could you please summarize what should they do on a personal level and what should they do on a group level? Like let's start with the personal level. So what would you recommend this person, how to approach it?
What I've realized is most important with these fastings, after we are all in a journey of searching for the truth.
Right.
Yeah. So what I've realized with these things is preparation. The first thing that I know, there must be those two things: liver cleansing, and flushing of the gut. Those things are extra important. Don't just jump into a long fast with fecal matters in your colon. You need to remove these things. The colon, you need to have an empty colon.
Yeah, and is the fasting of like let's say 3 days considered to be long enough to require this thorough colon cleanse?
I feel so. If somebody has not done it even once, that will be very beneficial. But if this is a person who has done the fast before and has also done it most recently, we talk about within a period of 6 months, there's no problem. The person can just get into the fast. But it is very important. This is I think number one thing where we fail is we just have knowledge, fragmented knowledge, a little segmented,
yes,
like here, somebody has here, yeah. But if you have the whole thing, at least you'll do everything correctly, and you'll also know what to expect. Yeah, what to expect. So the first thing, if your liver is clean, if your intestine is clean, then it becomes very easy for you to even do the fast, even for the body. Detoxing is key. Detoxing is key. Yeah. So, and I know people, we don't want to go to the way of detoxing or doing this, but we can do that. There's no problem. We keep on talking about these things every now and then so that we repeat for people. But that is the number one thing that is very key. And they are different. There are people who would prefer like for flashing ourselves. Some people would prefer salt flash, which for me now I've realized that it's quite okay, because at a point we were thinking if you take salt, it's going to get into your body, or you're going to get. But then if you've now known how to do it properly, you've now known that in 1 tablespoon. I think the first this one reminds me of the first meeting, the first time I had meeting with you. I was struggling to explain. I don't know. I was saying tablespoon. It's there in the video, the first video. Yeah. Yeah.
That's right.
On 1 liter, 1 liter, one liter, but always third warm.
Yeah.
What has to be warm. And most of the time, me, I practice it this way. I leave it open. I leave the water and salt in some cup, somewhere. Leave it open overnight. So most of my salt flush I do in the morning.
Yes.
When my stomach somehow is a little, the fasting process has like started 8 hours or 6 hours, something like that.
Yes.
So that is very key. But I've also tested many things. I tested, and I even asked Dr. Philov about castor seed.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't know, don't try that, because that was too vigorous. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. But then he has also told us not to use it, because it has also other things like those we are talking about. Resin, it's not a good thing to be used. But now he has recommended castor oil, the one that's been refined. So you can use that. So I've used 3 of them. That is salt flash, the castor seed. I've also used the castor oil, and I now know the difference. I know the difference with the castor oil. Sometimes I feel when I used it, I feel as if you have some stomach pain, something. It makes some discomfort to your stomach, and sometimes you will not like it. The pain is not nice.
Yeah.
So salt flash is a little better. And then I've also realized that with castor oil is good, yes, as a laxative is good, but somehow you become weak. I don't know why. After using castor oil, I felt a little weak for some time.
Okay.
But I don't know the good reason for it. But it's opposite for salt flash. Salt flash become very strong. And again, after using salt flash, no taking water. You should just go straight into the fast, because this thing will get into your water will dilute the little solution of salt in your body, and then the body will start to, in your digestive tract, and then your body will start to absorb it. So you don't want to absorb the salt. You don't want to absorb the salt. You make sure that you don't take water. This is very key. If you have just done a salt flash, you don't, after 3-4 hours, you don't drink water. Just allow it to flow like that, so that it all gets out of your system. Yeah, we did with the detaile here, the Shan practitioner. You hosted the detaile, and that information was very key. Yeah, detaile Shan. Very, very, very key. Very, very key. So that's all about the preparation. So somebody needs to prepare psychologically too, that you are going to get into a stress in the body, which is a important, a meaningful stress. It's something that you are going to gain from. It's going to be to your advantage.
Frederick, I just want to clarify something. I think that Sat Marga, when he talked about saltwater flash, he did mention that you should drink some water sometime after that. So how does it come along together?
Exactly. I remember his method. I remember very well. He said you have to drink water the next day. It's like you should take about 24 hours. Yeah, to allow that flow. It's very important. Very important. That's a very important question. When should you now take water if you have not yet gotten to the fast? You should take at least a full day, so that you don't not allow. And you should also, he also added on the issue of eating. You should not eat anything, because you are like bringing back what you are taking out. What you're taking out. So when you are getting into this process, it's like you have started a fast. Right. It's like you have started a fast. So you forget about food.
Yes, exactly. That's right. And Frederick, so for a person who wants to join you now, what would be the best source of learning about those cleansing techniques? I know that it's a little bit late now in terms of days, because you are starting in like 2 days or something like that, no?
Yeah, but a person who's joining, you can join even the time you have started and do the cleansing and catch up with us somewhere. You can even do a 5-day food dry fast. It's okay.
Yeah,
There's no
yeah.
problem.
So,
Yeah.
what would be the best and the most concentrated source of information regarding what you would require from a person in terms of cleansing before the fast?
I really recommend watching these videos. We have titled them, and they're just that channel is just dedicated for dry fast. So almost every information you need in this dry fast channel, which now I've changed its name a little. Somebody requested me, and I thought it was better. We've changed the name to Dry Fast is King, meaning compared to the other rest of the fast, now no fast can reach it. It's number one. Yeah. So during that channel, you're going to find so many things on dry fast. But even here in this Arik's channel, there's so many. Some of the contents are the same. Some of contents that are the other side, you'll also find in the weekly fasting group. So just take time and check on the ones that are on how to do detoxing. Check on the ones how to do the intestinal cleaning, things like that. So those are the ones that you need now, yeah, to collect the information you need. And the other thing I wanted to add is that we are fasting for good number of reasons. The main reason is more of spiritual reason. We want this message to reach the rest of the world. We want to make sure that those spiritual powers that are holding the truth, for people not to know the truth, people believe lies, that people can die, somebody can die in 3 days without water, without food. This thing has to reach the ends of the world. And those things have to be somehow with the prayer and fasting. We can at least bring those things down with our prayers and fasting and then spread the news to the ends of the world. So we're not doing it much really for ourselves. We're doing it for these people who are outside. We can say they are in the darkness in comparing with information. Ignorance is darkness. Yeah. So we want this thing to reach every person it can reach in the ends of the earth. This is very important information that if it can save so many lives, it can save so many lives, it will deliver so many lives. This is something that somebody can use for anything. We are hosting Anne some last week. I think we have again on Sunday, this coming Sunday. She said that in her camp, people come from very many different reasons for fasting. It's not just for health. Like Dr. Afinolo is focused on medical dry fast, healing the sick, curing the sick. But dry fast is not just for one purpose, or fasting as a whole. Fasting helps in almost everything around somebody's life. Today I hosted somebody, Arik, and he was like, I got delivered by just fasting. This guy did 40 days fast and some 7 days twice and another one 11 days. He said some kind of demonic forces left him.
Wow.
He was depressed, depression left, darkness left. So me, my approach is from the spiritual angle. You have been hosting me over and then here, so I use the biblical approach. That's where I come from. Yeah. Come from the biblical approach. But now we want the biblical approach with wisdom, biblical approach with what works, not just doing things blindly. This is why we are engaging these experts on medical fast, those who are experienced, to give us a direction. Because some people say, okay, some people have fasted and they have died. Some people don't know what because of ignorance. You are fasting, then you stop the fast, you want to take a full meal of meat, and you are in a fast, breaking a fast with meat, you'll die. Obviously, that person will die. Obviously. And maybe the person has done a very long fast, maybe it's gone beyond a week, and then you want to stop the fast and fill your intestine with very heavy, dense food. It's very dangerous. So these are the things that happen outside here. And that's why people say fasting is dangerous. We are not doing fasting because somebody died. Somebody died because of ignorance. That person's ignorance is costly. Ignorance is costly. This is the reason why we need to read, listen, but also the source is important. Where do you get this information from? Like for us, everything that we are doing now, we are working with Dr. Finelo. Every other person we bring in our group that person is just to develop what you already know, or maybe to tell us some the experiences. But the person we rely on because of his experience and expertise is Dr. Finelov. Dr. Finelov, his teachings, because of what he has done over time. This is something that he has done for so long. So he knows what works or what doesn't work. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, Frederick. So thank you very much. And okay, so let's get back to this average person who would like to participate, join your fast. So you said that in terms of preparation, they need to cleanse. And then what else do they have to do on a personal level? Do they have to arrange their time, to change their weekly schedule, like on a personal level in order to participate in your fasting?
Yeah. Fasting needs preparation and schedule. You need to be in, and if you want to prolong it, you should be in a very clean environment, very clean environment. So you should also get time with yourself. It is always good to put it in some time when you have holidays somewhere. But if it's not possible, like me, I just do fast and do normal duties. I just go work. I'm just going and I'm doing things. And then the thing I've seen, the experience, timing of the weather, I really realize that weather is like number one. Seasons, we talk about seasons. There's a season for fasting that you flow without struggle. Like I'm just away from, I did break my fast yesterday evening. I didn't let you know this. I'm not in a fast now. I did break my fast last evening, and that was 4 days dry fast, flowing. I broke my fast because I felt no, I need to rest so that when we're fasting with the group, I'll flow with them. I'll not be now too much ahead, or I'll be straining or something, or maybe leave them, break the fast earlier. It will discourage them. I've seen it with some. Well, there's a time somebody invited me, and I told the person, okay, we are fasting together. We fasted for some time, but then I feel no, I can't go on because I want to prepare for now the June fast. So that brings that kind of discouragement. The person also had to stop the fast. The person wanted to do 11 days because I stopped fasting. The person also felt, I know I can't continue. So that moral support is very important when the other person is fasting the other side, the other person fasting the other side. But if you start and you maybe the coach or the leader, you're the one who has already left the fast, who now will continue fasting. Everybody else will be running away. So I don't know if I've diverted away from the question, but
No,
that's exactly.
no. That's so. Your question is that your answer is that on a personal level, they need to arrange their time in order to have some free time, if possible, and in order to be in a clean environment, if possible.
Yes, clean environment it's just like a must, especially if you want to do more than 5 days dry fast. It's just a must. And
Okay.
that's the exactly. So it
Okay.
means if somebody is in an urban setting, the person has to get some time out in the nature, in a clean place.
Yeah, and let's say if a person really wants to join, but they cannot arrange it, like let's say they have job responsibilities, they have family responsibilities. So is it better to still join and participate, or to just to wait for the next time and for the better opportunities? What would you recommend?
Can wait for the best time. Can wait for the best time. Don't force anything, because again with fasting, you don't want to force yourself, and you don't want another stress. The body's already in stress. You don't want emotional stress and all the other things. So you need some peace. It is very good. The best place is nature. But I also realized I learned from Hitel Shah. She was doing a 14-day dry fast. She didn't even plan it. I know you remember. You remember when she was giving us a feedback one time.
Okay.
She just got into the fast and started to go on, and she had the responsibility of the children, doing this and that. So
Who is that? I'm sorry. Who is that?
he tells Shah from Germany.
Ah,
I
yeah,
don't know
yeah,
if
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So she would take time. She's in urban setting somewhere else. She's in a town, in a place where there are this and that. But she would take time and drive somewhere and walk in the forest. Just
Yes,
to walk in the forest for some
I
time,
remember.
then come back home. She's just doing normal duty. She's just going on with the normal life. So
Yeah.
sometimes you just need to fix these things. If you get a way out during weekend, can get into some place where there's nature, stay there, but can come back home. You may not stay there until the next day, overnight, or what. Yeah, it works. It works. It works.
Yeah. Okay. And Frederick, and what about the sleeping time at night? Do people have to take special care of those hours, or not, or nothing to worry about?
Which times? Which time?
Resting time at night, sleeping time at night, because you know many people in our modern world are kind of sleep deprived. They don't sleep enough, they have job demands, they have to get up early. So can they just go on with this routine while fasting, or it's better to treat this subject of sleeping in a certain way?
That will just give us an opinion, because I'm also reading here, reading there, but with the experience, for me, I just sleep normally.
Normally, just normally. Okay.
I don't have special, but what I realize, like now, this is it. When I was waiting for on the fourth day, I woke up a little earlier than usual, 2 hours earlier. I just found the sleep at home, and
Okay.
yeah. So you go with the way body is going. That's why you talk about learn your body. If your body wants some fresh air, you can get. If you can, you get out of your home. But it's not good to totally deprive yourself from sleep. Me, I'm for you need some rest. You need to do some rest, because that sleep will help you also, because it's also healing. There's a time for the body to rest. As it's resting, it's working on the things it needs to work on. So that rest is key. But again, exercise. When you do proper exercise, Arik, this is the secret.
Yes.
During the fast, if you do good physical activity like walking, you just do some walking, and a little light physical activities, some little workout, little, not so much, you will find yourself asleep. You'll sleep quite well. Yeah. But if you want to be idling at home, you want to sleep daytime, the nighttime you not sleep. So just find yourself some physical activities that you can do during the day. Yeah, it will put a body in a point where you are now, you need to relax. And the body needs that relaxation more.
Yes.
And then you just sleep. Yeah, you just sleep quite well.
Very good, very good. So, okay, Frederick. So, again, on a personal level, we mentioned cleansing before the fast. We mentioned being in nature, in a clean environment. We mentioned time to be alone if needed. We mentioned physical exercise. So, what is there anything else that comes to your mind on a personal level that is related to fasting that is required from a person who wants to participate?
Yeah. Also, information. You need to know what you're doing, and just have a lot of time with the videos. This is just the best place to resources. These are authentic. These are something that have been practiced. You are going to get so eye-opening issues here. There are so many good things in this video. So if you can watch, if you can read, and also the music you listen to, it should be soothing, the one that is a little calming your spirit, calming yourself, because the body is too much on on stress. You don't want to give it those things that are too going to raise.
Yes.
Yeah, you're going to raise your stress again. You're going to make you come very uncomfortable. Yeah. So loud music, I don't know, those noises. No, don't need a lot of noises. Yeah. Actually, if possible, withdraw from also so many things. These are these external things. Yeah. Get away if you can. Watch your TV if it's a must. Maybe the part that you need to watch, if it's just the part of the weather, because people are from different places where you need to know weather, environment, what is going on, where you want to go tomorrow. That's maybe important. But you want to disassociate yourself with such like things that will take your energy. These things take energy from you. Yeah. So that you can gather all the things that you're gathering should be there. I want to give you some good example. This place where I live, I've done a lot of fasts in this room. So when I get from outside, when I come from work or some other place, and I come in here, I feel strong energy inside the house. We call it energy, Arik, but we call it power, the Christian way we call it
Yeah,
power.
sure.
Exactly. Yeah. So I realized, okay, so this is a place, because this is a place where I fast and sometimes I sleep. So when I'm sleeping, this energy, this power of God rests on me most of the time. And when I'm living, it's like I'm living it in the place I'm living, where I do live, where I bought. So that is exactly what happened. When you are giving so much, or you are interacting so much with the world outside, it's taking away your energy. And that's the reason why I can feel when I'm coming away from the world, getting to the house, I can feel this place is a little, the energy here is high, the power here is high, because I've been drained from outside. But when I'm within, I will not feel it. Like now I'm within, I'm not feeling anything. But when I came out from outside, I feel the presence, that energy, that power of God, the presence of God. Yeah. So dissociate yourself with those things that are going to take away from you your energy. Don't get engaged in arguments. When I just knew the first time I knew dry fast, don't engage in argument, because it was like a trick. When you start to do dry fast, you get irritated very easily. You get angry very easily. You can slap a person. You can say some things that you don't need to say. At that time, that is the emotional healing that is happening at that time. But because you reach a point where you have now healed totally, and now instead of having problems with people or getting irritated easily, you now find that you are overjoyed. You have a lot of peace. But you have to keep it. For this time is the time you are gathering. You are absorbing. So you're not supposed to be taking absorbing and giving at this time. This is not time for giving. This time to absorb until you are full. When you break the fast, now you are full. That's the amount that you have absorbed. So you can now release it.
Amazing, Frederick.
In an orderly way.
Frederick, and I also wanted to ask about two other aspects for people who would like to participate. The first one, if you have a situation when you have to prepare food for your other family members, is it, for example, in case of a housewife or even a husband that does that? So is it advisable to still participate, or to maybe leave it for the next time when you don't have to get in touch with food? That is the first question. And the second question is about sexual relationship during those days. So what would be the approach to that?
About food, even me, there's a time I was just living with my son alone here where I am. And I would cook for him. Sometimes I help him prepare, but he knows I'm fasting. He knows my lifestyle. The children don't get shocked. I'm seeing my dad doing this all these years now. Yeah. So it is more of a mental thing. You set your mind.
Yes.
You set your mind. Now I'm not eating. But there's I can give you some experience. That sometimes I forget. Sometimes I forget I'm fasting. So I've started a fast, especially when we are starting. Usually the beginning time of fasting sometimes very challenging. So sometimes I've started a fast, and so dry fast. I find myself taking water. If I've taken water, I've broken the fast. So it means I'll start it another time. I just forget. I just find myself taking water. But that is a clear sign at that point that the body at that time doesn't want the fast. So you have to be intelligent in a way that, because I forget I'm fasting. I just find myself drinking. And if I've already drunk the water, now the fast has been broken. So I can't continue. Yeah. So just set your mind. Know that, and sometimes feel that you're already eating what you've seen. By just seeing it, feel that you have eaten it. Feel, you don't need to have to. And another person also gave us another idea. See that food or smell it as something else. Don't smell it in thinking in your mind. It's more of mental. This is just mental approach. The way you approach it is in your mind. Yeah. See it as if it is a metal. See it as some other object, some flower. Something that you can't eat.
Okay, interesting.
What was the second question, Arik?
About marital relationships, sexual relationships.
Very important. That I should have even read from the Bible, because I think I have a Bible here if I can get. In our New Testament, the Bible, in the 1 Corinthians 7, the Bible is very clear about this issue. That if our husband and wife have agreed to do a fast, they'll have to abstain. They'll have to abstain.
Yes.
During the fasting period. Then thereafter, because of temptation. I would think I need just to read exactly the way the Bible has
Yeah,
written
yeah,
it.
sure. Please do. Please do.
Let me
It's
not say
always
my own words.
always
Yeah,
good. Always good to read from the Holy Scriptures. Oh, it's
yeah,
always good. It's always beneficial. So please
yeah.
do.
So that you don't get back into temptation. You during the fasting, you don't want to get yourself. You don't get into sexual relations.
Okay.
It's going to drain you. It's going to
Yeah.
drain you,
Right.
and
Right.
you're going to take your energy. And sometimes we can even break the fast before even the time. If you
Yeah.
plan maybe 3 days and you have already got engaged in what the second day you have in this sexual relation with your spouse, you find yourself gone. So sex
Yeah.
needs a lot of energy.
Right. Right.
Apart from that, there are so many other things that are involved. So just refrain, abstain, but then come back immediately after you refeed. That will depend on you if you get the energy, because sometimes again that is important. It's not only at the time of the fast. There's this period when you have just broken the fast, and I think this is the reason we need to get things with reason. This is the reason why we people, Dr. Field or these people who are doing fastings in centers, they want people to come there. At that time, you can't do anything. You're just there alone. Even if you came as a husband and wife, you can't be in the same room. You can't be in the same room. You'll have to live apart. And then the period after you have broken the fast, your body is still weak. You need to know. You just don't just want to get back into. You must learn your body. Give it a little time. I'm not going to give exact time, but you yourself, you will feel, you will know now, okay, now I'm okay. You just know that now this my body is now okay. Yeah. So don't hurt your body. Don't hurt your body. Don't put yourself into some pressure that is too much for your body. Let me read that verse.
Yeah.
First Corinthians chapter 7, verse 5. Defraud ye not one the other, except it be with consent for a time, that you may give yourself to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your inconsistency. Inconsistency. I don't know how to read that word. But
Okay.
somebody can get that in First Corinthians. If you are a Christian, you have this Bible, First Corinthians chapter 7, verse 5 is there.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you could summarize this verse, how would you summarize it? So basically,
it's
just
more
what.
of it's more of husband and wife, you should have good sexual relationship. Intimacy should be very, very close. That is what the Bible is saying. But the only time the Bible now does not want you to be intimate with your spouse is the time you are fasting. This makes it very sacred, very important. So you don't have to. And I think if you look at where we are borrowing it, you can remember the time the 10 commandments were coming. People are refrained. This is in the Exodus, I think Exodus chapter 19. They were told not to have sexual relations 3 days before the time God now descended in a cloud in Mount Sinai. Everybody had to stay like a person, no sexual relations. So when you are getting to fasting, it's like this is a sacred time. This is a time that you want to meet God. This is between you and your creator. So you don't want to mix yourself into sexual activities.
Right.
Any other pleasure, actually, that's how we should approach it. This is because sexual activity is more of pleasure. So you don't want to get into any other pleasure, any other entertainment, any other thing that is going to make you feel good. At this time, it's time for suffering. It's time for afflicting our souls. Afflicting, ourselves. We afflict. We put pain on us through fasting.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Very good, Frederick. So it was very, very clear. Now tell me, on a group level, so could you please describe how it works? First of all, I guess if a person wants to fast with you, they need to be the member, they need to join your group, right? Because all the activity happens in the dry fasting group, or you have a special group just for this kind of fast?
No. This is for everyone. The only one that we like help, if somebody needs help outside the group, because it's going to take my time, it's going to take my buying this airtime to be on air, all those things, then will just give me some little what we agreed on. We agree on. It is also a sign of supporting our group, our work here with Arik. We have so many things we are doing. So if you want that level of personal, private approach, that's when you can just for coaching, you'll give me a little thing. But this one is for group, and this is for free, and we share everything there. Actually, the beginning, the meaning of this group is not to get anything from people. We are not after money. I'm not really not money hungry. I've been living my life. Actually, there's a point I didn't want to share this issue of fasting. I told you, Arik, in the first meeting, I felt like this is a top secret that should be guarded carefully. Others have guarded it carefully. There are people who have known this thing somewhere, hiding it somewhere in some there's a place that Dr. Philo was telling us, Shambhala, a place where people try to find, I can't find. So this is a guarded secret. But then we felt we should share it with humanity. It will help them. It will help
Absolutely.
people can be helped and listen. Yeah. So we are not really charging. Our mind is not in money. If you can get into my heart is trying, if we can, reach everyone on the whole world, at least to have a chance to listen to these things we have had here. We have had so many important things here. So we want everybody at least to hear once or even twice, to have this information. That is the real thing that is in my hand. So it's not about charging. It's not about money. If you are giving us, you are giving a support. You are giving a support to help us expand the message and also our time. Because most of the time you find you have to create our time to get to do these things. So your support is very much needed in one way or another. But it's not a demand. We're not demanding from you money. We are not coming here to make or make money or become rich. That's not the reason why we are here.
Yeah, absolutely, Frederick. Yeah, that's very, very clear. So I just want to summarize. So a person, if they want to participate in the fast, they need to join your group. They need to be a member of the group because all the communication is happening there.
Within the group.
Within the group. And then if they run into personal issues and if they want personal coaching from you, that it will cost a little bit of money, right?
Yeah, it costs. And I was also thinking of starting that paid membership so that some content, actually I'm just saying it here for the first time, there's some content that I'm going to hide. We are not going to be sharing all the videos that we have. So for those paid members, those are the only ones who will be able to watch that one. That will help us get some little amount of money to expand this message. So because Arik, the truth is everything needs finances. Everything needs finances. But we'll not be coming here telling people give. No. That is not our original idea. We have been here, we have been doing these seminars, we have been going on. But we have reached a point where I have now realized we can't expand if we don't involve finances. There's a way, if you want to now put subtitles for videos for other languages, a video that goes beyond 10 minutes or 1 hour, 30 minutes, that video is so long, you have to pay. You have to pay for those for good subtitles from maybe English to these other languages like French, Spanish. There are so many languages outside here, Japanese, Danish, Finnish, we have Mandarin, so many languages, Korean. They need to hear these things. Some people, I'm sure that some people have never had totally anything like this. If you have good heart, the heart of love, you love your other human being, the way you love yourself, the way the Bible says, you want to reach everybody. And it's like just the way we are taught in the Christian way, preaching the word of God to the ends of the world. So what we are doing indirectly, you are supporting us to reach the ends of the world through this message of dry fast, which is covering everything, covering health, covering spiritual needs, covering emotional issues, covering physical needs, covering, I would say, the 8th dimension of a man, of a human being, finances, everything. Everything is your mental health, clarity, creativity. All these things are here with dry fast.
Okay, very
interesting. And even something else very important, dry fast also changes a person's behavior. With the way if you do fasting for some time, like a lifestyle, you don't become violent. You also don't become angry. You don't become irritated easily. I told you, you get irritated when you started fasting, but it's a process of healing emotions. It will go. If they're left after some time, now become very docile person, become very calm person. You get yourself into arguments, heated arguments, don't know, quarreling, I don't know, this outburst of the anger that just come out. You change totally. You get changed. And also money comes to you. Sometimes you just find people, if you are poor, if that thing breaks, it breaks. You don't need, you don't be person begging. You can't be fasting and begging. It breaks that
Absolutely.
thing.
Yeah. It really changes all the patterns of your life. Yeah. I agree. Okay, Frederick. So basically, if a person has any questions, then they can just during the fast, then they can ask them in the group to get them for free from other group members, or and in case they want to contact you and get some personal coaching, how much would you charge for that? If you could share.
That all depends. It all
Okay.
depends because we also realize that people are different. Like sometimes you find people in Africa here, people in the group here, we are not the same
Yeah,
financially.
so it depends on the capacity of the person.
It depends on
Okay.
the person, and we agree with the person. We just negotiate something that is going to be workable on his side. I'm not,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not really fixed on a clear amount, but for the group membership that I'm still working on, we're thinking of, we started with the is it 30 or 30 $30, $30, but I'm feeling it's a little quite high because it's, if I want to accommodate so many people, I think it should be a little lower than that. I'm still thinking about these things, so we'll have something
whenever
agreeable.
anyway, I just want to make clear that for now this information about membership is only relevant for the dry fasting Frederick's group. It's not relevant for people who are in my group of weekly fasting, like for everything is for free, so you can just you can access all the videos and of course participation in the group and everything, but everyone has different approach, and that's perfectly fine.
Exactly.
Also, Frederick has maybe a even bigger vision than me, and in terms of subtitles for the videos, inviting more people from inviting the professionals, so he will probably need more funds. Anyways, and I also wanted to ask, mm, let's say if a person doesn't want to do dry fast, but rather water fast or even juice fast, is it still open for them, or it's only for people who want to dry fast?
No, it's open. It is open. We have been, all of us have been somewhere. We didn't just start like this. When I was first time I was taught about fasting, it was more of water. You take water, you fast, you flip water, like that. Then the juices came in, and later you learned dry fast. So you can't just tell these people, oh no. And again, Arik, I think this one we must say it very clearly. Dry fast, yes, is the king. Not the king, but is king. Dry fast is the best of all this one.
Yeah.
All these other fast. But it does not work, especially the health matters, on everything. Dr. Finalov brings it very clearly. He has said it several times. Those people who have been under hormonal therapy for 5 years plus, cannot be helped. From experience, what he has seen, he can't help those people with the dry fast. Somebody has reached stage 3, stage 4 cancer. He has repeatedly said this every now and then. And he also has insisted on, and this is the reason why everyone needs to fast actually. He has insisted on preventive fasting, where you fast before you get the disease. Fast before your body gets weak. Fast so that you get immunity. Fasting gives you immunity against the diseases. You don't want to wait until now you get a big problem that the doctors the other side can't help you. Now you run to this one the last moment. This has been repeatedly said. This is the reason why I'm saying this thing needs to reach everybody. It is not just for the sick. Some people may think, okay, it's a method of treating the sick. Me, I'm not sick. I'm okay. But when you reach a point where you now become that sick and you become, it's very late. You not get help even with dry fast. Though it would have helped you if you would have done it earlier. Prevention is better than cure. Prevention is better than cure. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, guys. So I kind of exhausted all my questions that I had prepared before this meeting. Now we will just open it to your questions, regardless if you want to participate in this particular fast or you are thinking about participation in the future activities of Frederick, extending your fast. So whatever you want to ask, please, guys, please ask your questions. Don't shy. Don't be shy.
I wanted to bring somebody here. I want to introduce to you two people here. One is Dunstan Omondi, and the other one is Fanny Anyang. I invited them today.
Good.
So Dunstan is my long-time friend. We have been friends for now 21 plus years.
Wow, amazing.
And he has, all this journey I'm talking about, he knows. One time I brought him in one of our meetings. One time, I know you remember Arik. This face.
I think so. I think I do remember. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Fanny, I don't know if she's online now. Fanny, can you hear us? If she's not, I think she's just attending, but I don't think she's hearing. Okay.
Yeah. Fanny's here. Yeah, Fanny's here.
She's here, but I think I don't know if she's hearing us or what. So all these things, so many things that I say, he's my witness. Dan is my witness that if I'm talking about fasting, I do fast. It's not something I'm just saying and I'm not doing. It is real.
Sure.
Exactly. And himself, he also got some. Dunstan is one of these people who have been resisting dry fast for some time, because when we were taught together in faith.
Yes. I can hear you. Let me explain a little bit.
Okay.
The first time I got to understand about fasting was about 20 years ago. And after reading a book by a senior man of God in the United States, a senior preacher in the United States, and he taught us that it is not wise to do dry fast, as in fasting without water or food. According to him, if we are to engage in a fast, then we have to drink water. And so when Frederick came up with this idea that we can also fast without water and without food for a couple of days, it was a really difficult decision for me, because it was the first time I was doing it, and it was draining a lot. And I remember I've done soft fasting, that is fasting with water, for a couple of days. But the first time I did a dry fast, using the advice of our friend Frederick, I saw a remarkable change in my life, because the first time I did a 3-day dry fast, no food, no water. I had previously had a challenge in my back that was an irritating itching. So I had to be scratching my body almost every now and again. And it was something that had been there for almost 10 years. For almost 10 years, it was a recurring issue. Every now and again, it will come and go. But after I practiced the fast that I was advised by Frederick, it disappeared completely. Up to now, I've not seen it again.
Wow.
And so since then, I've been trying whenever I get time to do the dry fast. That's the kind of fast that I think is effective, is powerful, and has some impact in the life of somebody. So actually, it is a plus. It is a good idea that we as humans, just like you see, sometimes our home is not very far from the Lake Victoria, and we have government restrictions that within a period of time, people are not supposed, fishermen must not do any fishing. So maybe like 30 days or so in a year. So the lake is left like that. Nobody goes out fishing, And we've also learned it in sugar factories. We have sugar factories around us also. And in those sugar factories, there's a period of time where the milling, the plant, the factory is left. I mean, there's no milling, the factory is left to rest or to service the factory. So in the same way, our bodies are like machines. If we do a dry fast, no food gets in, no water gets in. It is a kind of revitalizing the body, refreshing the body, making it come out stronger. You see, so I strongly advocate for dry fast. It is effective, it is impactful in the lives of people. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Arik,
yes.
This Fanny, I wish we got her, because if she would have come, she had something that happened to her. Thank you, Dan. Thank you so much.
I'm here with you.
So Fanny, I don't know what is happening with your video. We can't see you, but there's no problem. You can just, it's no problem. You can just do it like that. So Fanny is just not Fanny. Fanny is my wife. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So she healed herself, because the first thing, when she knew me the first time she was knowing me, I was just doing water fast. So at a point she looked, this guy has changed. This guy is doing it dry fast, and she saw a lot of changes in me that were like, what's happening? So she herself went and did a dry fast.
Yeah.
For about 7 days. I don't remember now. 8 or 7 days. The first time she left home, went to some camp in a place, did a dry fast. That's the first time she was doing the dry fast. Then now she learned, okay, this thing is good. This is workable. Now she had a lump in her left breast at that time that was growing, and it was worrying me. You don't want to think cancer, but it was growing. It was going to becoming too big. Then she got herself into fast. Now I don't remember exactly how many days. I know it was 6 days. There were two of them. This thing helped her totally to heal the lamb.
Amazing.
So, and there are also many other changes. Sometimes you find that also the issue of the skin. There's a time that she was telling me, the ladies are asking her for the secret of smooth skin, shiny skin.
Yes.
They want to get for them, they know it's lotion. Yes, she's telling them, no, there's no lotion here. It's just a fasting. Just fasting.
Wow.
So these are the things that have happened on her. Maybe let her say something a little then.
Yes, please.
Okay.
First of all, it's really our honor to have you here, the wife of Frederick, and you have an amazing husband, a wonderful husband.
Thank you very much.
You're lucky.
For the group. Okay, I'm lucky for the invitation. Sometimes I do join your live video, but I'm just there dormant. So about the dry fast, I was introduced by through my husband, Fredrick, he has said, and the first thing I did it was on 2014, and after that, I came to realize that it is something which is it is a bit easier. It is easier than, for me, it is easier than water fast. So after that, I normally do 3 days dry fast. It is very easy for me. Anytime I can join the 3 days dry fasting. But the last time I did a long fast, it was on May, and I broke the fast on 27th of May. That one was 7 days dry. And I saw it is very, very okay. It has a great impact. I had a lump, the way he has said. I had a lump in my left breast, which was growing. So when it started, I thought it is something very normal, easy. It will disappear. But the lump went on growing day by day. It became big, and I was worried. So by the time I was doing 7 days dry fast, it was not about the issue of the lump. I was just doing it for something else. So after the 3rd day of dry fast, that was May, I discovered that the lump has reduced. had disappeared. It was no more. Until today, it is no, it is not there. And I had also back pain, which normally comes and goes. It comes and goes. So some house calls I'm training to do because of back pain. But since I did that 7 days dry fast on May till to date, I don't feel that back pain like the way it was. But the lump has totally disappeared. So every sometimes monthly, or I take few times and I join. 3 days is normal to me nowadays. 3 days. But the challenge I got during the fast, that's 7 days dry fast, I had some challenges because I think because I didn't prepare well. I did not do any preparation. I did not even plan for it. I thought I was the fast will take short time, but I found myself on the 7th day. So I didn't do any preparation. So I had some challenges like the way Frederick was saying, there was no sleep. I had no sleep during night. The fourth day, there was no sleep at all. I was not feeling like sleeping. I could sleep for 2 hours or 3 hours, day or night. And another challenge that I got during that fast is that when I was my mouth became the saliva in my mouth became sticky. It was sticky and more white. I don't know why, whitish. And when I was trying to spit out the saliva, it had a mixture of blood and the saliva and the blood. So I don't know the reason, but at least I managed 7 days. So nowadays, dry fasting is not a problem unto me. That is the experience I've got. Experience during dry fasting. Okay, thank you.
Wow.
Wow. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Penny. Thank you so much.
Arik, may I ask somebody to just a greeting to Laura. Laura was the first person in Laura was in the first meeting. The first time we had a meeting with you.
Yes.
Laura was in attendance. Laura, hi. It's long time. It's like now 1 full year or something in this journey, and you have never left. You have been here all this time.
Absolutely. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's Laura really I really needed to get her feedback. Actually, I wanted to know how she has developed over time with this information that we have been giving. How is it really important? Is it really developing her? What are her experiences over time, ever since we started to have the meetings? But there's no problem if she's maybe she's not she's not getting us or hearing us.
Someone says on the chat that it was very inspiring what your wife had said.
Oh, the testimony of Fanny. And I wanted to insist on pay. Fanny did not pay me for the information. She just did her fasting. So this is something open for everyone. It's open for everyone, everywhere you are. But when you feel you want to support, it's okay. You give us your support, that's okay. We really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So does anyone have any more questions for Frederick? Regardless of the fact if you want to participate in this particular fast or not. Can be about anything related to fasting or to this particular fast. I want to ask you, Frederick, probably it's a question that bothers many people. So if a person is on medication, I know that Dr. Filonov discussed it and we also talked about it, but specifically in relation to this fast on a practical level, this fast that starts in a few days. So what should they do?
Issues of medication, we really recommend that he has to contact the doctor. This one, I really don't want to go into the medical issues, unless you understand exactly what you're doing. And your doctor maybe will tell you how that medicine works, because there's a time that Dr. Phil was telling us you can put under your tongue, like those people who are hypertensive, they can put the medicine under their tongue. Those people who are asthmatic, they come with their inhalers.
Yeah.
And for some time, then it disappears. And then you see these diseases are very different. I'm not a medical doctor, so I cannot really go in that line. But if somebody is really in need, then that we'll just refer you. I think that's what we do. We refer you to Dr. Finelov directly. You can book an appointment with him so that he gives you clear direction on medication and fasting, because we don't want. But what he has been saying, which is like a universal way and may not be applicable to every disease. That's the reason why we are saying no. Please, you need to contact him and your doctor. Those two, the person who has given you medicine and this and Dr. Finelov, the dry fasting doctor, because he's been saying that sometimes they train people in a way the 3 months, the period before the fast, and these people will be taking little medicine, reducing as time is going and entering fasting until then. You need to mute yourself, please, until they get into the level of what the time for fasting. So during the fast, no taking medicine. Then after the fast again, they start to take a little again. When they'll check, when they realize that the disease is left, then they just leave the medicine. It's no problem. So this is his method, but this one is not something that I've used. I've not used that. I've not gone to that line, and I don't plan to go into that line. I leave it for Dr. Finelov, and that's why we have that link with him. Those things that we can't handle, we are handling little things here. The things that we think we can't handle, we refer to him. He's the right person to help this person. But it depends with what you are suffering from or why you are taking those medicine. It's not just for everyone. It's not just for everyone. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And tell me, Frederick, so during those fasts in the group, how does it work? Like, do people are people required just to share their experiences every day, or every person can post just whenever they want things, whenever they have issues or questions, like this group dynamics during the fast? How does it work?
Yeah, it's just overall. It's overall, but you see, in a group, we are different. There are some people who are not even fasting with us at the time of fasting, but they are in the group.
Yeah.
And they have much experience, a lot of knowledge about the fasting. They have done several fasts, several dry fasts. So they're able to even guide these people. This is why it's a mutual thing where we come all together. And we also have those who are totally new to this thing. So we balance. You find that you asked a question which for you is a big problem, but to another person it's like you're repeating. Yeah, this one we have ever answered it. This one we know. This one we know. So you get that help very easily, and that's the reason we need a group. That's very key for the group, because one, we help each other. We help each other. Our levels are different. Okay, the knowledge we have is also different. Our levels of knowledge is very different. So that's exactly what happens. That's exactly what happens.
Yes, and people also can ask questions about properly breaking the fast, what to eat, what to drink after the fast, etc. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And get help by other members of the group. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Someone asks here on the chat. Just a moment. He says, if overall we are enjoying a good health, just doing a weekly fasting to detox isn't good enough. What's the objective of long duration fasting? And then there is the second part. Sometimes when people post the issues they are encountering during the long fasting, asking for the support, it scares one from taking. Okay, let's first of all let's address the first one, because those are two different questions. So he's asking if one has a good general health, isn't doing this weekly 1 day fasting good enough for detox? Like, what is the meaning behind, what is the objective of long duration fasting?
It is actually the weekly fasting is actually the beginning of that detox. You need to take it higher. And that's why Dr. Filelov recommends, there are two more things ahead there. After you have known how to do a dry fast for 24 hours weekly, you need to graduate it to make the detoxing and the cells, because what happens with the dry fast, you know, there's acidosis crisis somewhere. In one acidosis crisis 1, acidosis crisis 2. You can't find that in one day fast, 24 hours fast. It only happens in a little prolonged fast. And the recommendation is, this is a general one, at least you need to do about a period of monthly 3 days fast, then quarterly 5 days, then yearly 9 days. It is exactly what is happening with you with the weekly fasting weekly, but the difference is this becomes deeper. What you gain in a 5-day fast cannot be the same as what you gain in one day fast.
1 day.
Yeah, exactly. And you remember the acidosis crisis you're talking about? That one you can't experience with 1 day. You can't experience with 1 day. You need to do a little long fast, but it is not recommended for everyone. That is what we are insisting. So you need to know if you have a health condition that is underlying, that is contraindicated for dry fast, don't do it. And the other thing that I think the objective of long dry fasting, it's all about wellness. It's just all about wellness, because obviously, the way I've just said, maybe I repeat myself, there are things that you can do, or that the body will be able to do to repair within that 24 hours. But there's another level of preparation, not really preparation, of detoxing of the cells, working on it their own, at which point? At 3 days fast, and maybe 5 days. So that's the difference. And so I think she also added here, sometimes when people post the issues they are encountering during the long fasting, asking for the support, it scares one from taking one. Most of the time, the reason why people get problems with fasting is because of poor preparation and little knowledge. If you find yourself fasting and you are in great stress in your body, the level that you cannot contain it, it is clear that there was poor preparation. Dry fast, there's no way, you must prepare. Dry fast, there's no way, you must exit with the clear protocol. You just don't exit the fast like that. So those things are conditions that somebody must know. And even during the time of the fasting, you must know what exactly you need to do. You don't just want to talk to people everywhere. You want to be calm, seated somewhere. Don't lose a lot of water through your mouth, through talking. So is it another one? Let me just read and as I answer is hard dry fast superior to soft dry fast. My spiritual practice does not go with hard dry fast. I must take a bath daily. There's no problem with if you just choose a soft dry fast. There's no problem. We hosted here, I think a week ago, we hosted here Inga, the one who further pioneered this fasting for healing. And she told us that father would sometimes get dip himself into the water shortly, briefly, and get out. Briefly and get out. And from that meeting, Arik, I just made a decision. The very long, prolonged dry fast, very long. The one now called prolonged fast, who have been taught very well, is going beyond 12 days. If you now go beyond 12 days, that one is not recommended for us because of what we have been taught. This guy did a lot of research, did it with himself. He has done so many supervised fast on people, and realized that after you have reached the 11th day, the issues of healing is done. So you don't need to go, you're just destroying your body. You don't need to go to 29, 40, 30. I know Satmaga does that. I've hosted him, but we're not recommending the Satmaga way of fasting for everyone, for anyone. The one that we recommend is this one that we do with Dr. Philo. But when you need to take bath, there's no problem. As for me, I don't take bath when I'm fasting. What I do, the day one, I will take bath, because that time the body is still normal. There's that sweating, there's what, so I'll take bath. Day two, no bath. Like now, I just did we finished the 4 days. Day 2, no fast, no bathing. 3, no bathing, and the 4th day, until I break the fast in the evening. That's when I take bath. So it all depends with which one you choose. But me, I'd seen when I started the fast, I was bathing, and then I realized that when you have dry fast total, it gives the body. It becomes more aggressive. That's what I felt. The stress in the body and the processes that you need to do goes very fast. But then when you're doing allowing some water, it slows, because the body absorbs almost everything. But they are both dry fast, whether soft or hard. They are both dry fast. You're not taking anything, so there's no problem. There's no problem. There's totally no problem. Just choose what works with you.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So who else has any questions? Otherwise, we will just be wrapping it up. Okay, Frederick, so maybe you could just tell us about the dates of this June fast. So when does it start? How long will it go on, etc.?
Okay, the fast will start 31st. 31st will be on a Monday. 31st, 5 p.m. UK time, and it's not for everyone. We are not telling everybody, if you're in the group now, you must fast. No. Yeah, if you feel your condition allows you, you feel you have prepared mentally, you have prepared physically, then join us. And again, fasting at home that is not supervised. This is what we have been told. Should not go beyond 7 days. Should not go beyond 7. You can do the fasting at home very comfortably up to 7 days. But now, after you reach the day 8, 9, those ones need to be. If you have never reached those days, you need little guidance. So, if you feel you want to join us and want to go very long, that very long should reach 9 maximum or 11. 11 will be too high. So that is what we recommend for you, but that is not. This is not for us like recommending something that is not workable. This is something that is workable. It has been tested. I really liked Inga telling us that you can do this at home. It's something that you can do at home so long as you have a clean environment. Just open the windows, clear ventilation. So for me, because I've hosted people like Trevor here who has done 19, 15, 20 days, supervising themselves, just observing themselves. You know what happens? It is about the information you have. If you don't have the information, you need to be guided. But if you have enough information, how do you know you have enough information? That's where the problem is. How can you tell you now have enough information when you understand what exactly is happening in your body, the processes? When you really understand all those processes that are happening, if you feel like a shortness of breath, then you know what to do. When you feel the heart rate increasing, you know what to do. When you feel dizziness, you know what to do. When you now know, I'll feel this at this time because this and this is happening. Like now, headache. You just know that is caffeine issues, symptoms of withdrawal symptoms. So if you understand what you do, you can guide yourself. It's very easy. But if you have little knowledge, don't try. Don't go that long. Don't go that long. Just go maximum 5 days. Relax. Thank you.
Yeah. So it's better to spend many hours watching the videos and maybe reading the books by Dr. Filonov that are translated into English, right?
Exactly. And with Dr. Filonov's book, there's something we wanted to also to stress, because he's saying it every now and then. with the Phoenix protocol. It's called what? Is it?
The Phoenix protocol.
Protocol. He's saying there's one thing that is an error, a serious error, where a person does enema during dry fast. We have never done any. I don't know about that, how it works, but it discourages enemas. Not just discourages. When you are in a dry fast, you should not do an enema. So I don't know why it's written in that book. There must be a page where he recommended that, and Dr. Philov has come out clearly. So if you are a member, if you are following us and following Dr. Philov's teachings, at that point, you have to be careful. Do it before the fast, but don't do it during the fast. You can do it also later after the fast, no problem, but not during the fast.
Yeah, that's an important point. That's an important point.
Exactly.
Okay, guys, so last chance. Do you have any more questions for Frederick? Okay, Frederick, so we're about to finish soon. Is there anything that you would like to add to what you have said? Anything in particular that might be relevant for people who want to participate, who want to join you in 3 days for the fast?
Yeah, you are welcome. Everyone, you are welcome. And this is more of a spiritual fast. And when we're doing the spiritual fast, we are also healing our bodies. But we are not putting ourselves too much stress on our body. We are doing it with a lot of wisdom. If you can get a group, this is the best group. We are not trying an error methods. We are using what is recommended, what has been tested, and what works. So you will heal yourself as we also pray for others. We really pray for this. Actually, after this June fast, those people who are going to involve themselves with us, they are going to see a change. It's like a guarantee. Just get to the fast, you'll see a change. The first time we did the fast, it was very popular. There were so many good things that happened to people. But then people feel, I think after some time, we have gotten used to the to this thing of, oh, we are fasting this time, we are fasting this time. So I think the June fast is very important because it's the midst of our Gregorian calendar. It is in the midst of the year. And we want things, especially we who are spiritual, we want things that we have not yet seen. We are expecting the things that we have asked from God that we have not seen come to pass. We want them to come. We want to see those things fulfilled. We want to see change in our lives, in people around us. We want to see. At this time, I'm like an ambassador for dry fast. Wherever I am now, even with my workers, co-workers, I tell them fasting. This thing works. This thing works. It has worked here. It has worked there. So I make this. I come for this meeting. I enjoy doing this thing, and it's just for volunteering. You're just volunteering. You're just doing this work for the humanity, for the sake of humanity. So you're welcome. And there's something I wanted to add, Arik. This can be something that somebody can do a research on. I don't know if I've ever discussed it. You will tell me if you have discussed it before. I'm told, biblical history, that the time the children of Israel were released from Egypt, the journey would have taken 11 days. I don't know if you have heard anything like that. If they were just to walk straight without going here and there. Some biblical historians, I don't know, are telling me something like that.
I haven't heard anything like that. Like I guess I just, yeah, okay. Maybe I just wasn't interested enough in this subject.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was trying to look at those days. I'm like 11 days walk, and there's this time that they took 3 days without water. It's like they were in a fast. I don't know if they were also eating or not. I don't know at that point. If they don't have water, they could be there was no food. I was thinking maybe God was putting them on a fast for this for the journey that would have taken them 11 days to take out everything, because water, we say, it's water takes the water in our body has some information. It is like a storage of information. So the best way to remove that information in our DNA, in the level of the DNA, it takes a long dry fast, and that long dry fast maximum 11 days. So I'm just thinking like not that maybe it would have taken them 11 days dry fast as they walk and they reach, because again, it is recommended when you are doing dry fast, especially for medical reasons, you need to walk. You need to walk, you need to do those little physical exercise. So I'm just thinking maybe this was a reason God had wanted them to take just 11 days, and they would have reached the promised land. So try your time, try your 5 days, try 7 days. Those numbers are very key. 7, 12, 14, they're very important. They're very important. But our fasting is maximum 11 days. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Frederick, and just last thing. So when are you planning the next one for people who cannot join this one, but they do want to join you in the future?
Okay, we have monthly fast, but now June is the most important for us, especially for me, because I understand it is in the midst of the year for us. But then we'll also have July, which will just be short, maximum 5 days. August will just be short. But then September, October, at that point, then we might still have another long fast that can take 7, 9. September, October. So at that, those 2 months, we can put them together, the September and October, because we are also told about the importance of fasting at that time.
Yes.
The importance of fasting at that time, we are also told about. So we'll have, I know in Israel, I think you start your year in September, around that point.
Yes. It's around September,
yeah. So I think we'll put it somewhere almost your calendar around that time, because it's the best time also to fast. So yeah, something like that. That will be a little long time to fast.
Sounds good. Frederick, and I also wanted to ask if a person wants to join you and to fast, is it better for them to define the number of days ahead of time that they want to ask fast for 3 days or for 5 days, or just to jump into that and to watch their body, the reactions of their body? What would you recommend from your experience?
I always feel when you put the number of days, it stresses you. It puts you into thinking, I have to reach this goal. And if you miss reaching it, it touches your mind. Now, for us, we put those maximum, don't go past this. But when you start, we don't like, now I'm going to do, no. Some conditions can change, or my body can just refuse. It can just say, okay, I'm done. I can't go past this time. So when I say I have to do it, I've planned myself for 5 days and I've not done 5 days. I'll have that guilt. I'll have that guilt, and we don't want those guilt feelings. You have already done something. You have done something. Somebody else does not even know that this thing exists. As for you, you have started the journey. You have another chance to do it another time. So fixing the days. For me, I think it is more. It gives the mind target, and if you don't reach it, it becomes a problem to you. It will be torturing you. I have failed. I have not. No, allow the body to flow up to where it can reach. Where it can reach. But if you're doing it for healing, remember the second acidosis crisis. Remember the 9th day. Just try to push it up to that time. If you're doing it for healing. But for spiritual reasons, you can stop anytime. You can stop at 5, stop at 7, stop anytime you feel. You can stop at 12, 11.
Very good advice. So, and then Heather says, sounds good. Thank you for speaking about future fasting times. Yeah, you're welcome.
You're most welcome.
It's an important question. Okay, Frederick. So I think we'll wrap it up here. We'll put the contact details below the video of our 2 groups, of weekly fasting group and of dry fasting group, which is your group for people who want to join, who are not the members yet. And guys, if you have any more questions for Frederick, you will get the contact details, etc. Frederick, and also and I want to ask you about this guy who you are going to interview tomorrow from Papua New Guinea. Do you have any additional information about this guy, just for the people who are here, to make a little teaser, so that they come and listen?
It's a nice one anyway, very nice. But Arik, I'm enjoying everything. I'm living the life. Like when somebody tells you, you're living your life. At this point of my life, I'm living my life. Amazing. I'm just flowing. I'm doing what I like. I am just living. I eat when I want. I fast when I want. Nobody controls me. Nobody controls me. Oh, this is the time to eat. This is the time to. No, they feel this is the freedom everybody needs to have worldwide. Everybody needs this freedom. No need to be controlled.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody is saying, please share contact number of Frederick. Let me talk about this guy. This guy it's not me actually who got sought for him. There are some people who watch our videos. They follow us up. They are not in the group, and those people are doing so well. So it's like, okay, I have a guy. Can you interview this guy? This guy did 21. The lady that's telling me about this guy has done 20 days fast, which we don't recommend. But you see, when the Bible told us somebody fasted 40 days, Paul fasted 14 days with people who are not even believers with him on the ship that they had shipwreck. That is in the Acts, I think 2:28, I think somewhere in Acts 28. If it happened somewhere, I think a point is coming. Let me just say it before let's talk about this. Like Paul doing a 14 days fast, dry fast in the shipwreck. These guys were exposed so much on what we call vapor, water vapor. On the sea, there's a lot of vapor. And that's why I have found a point. There's a point that I've gotten where we have a hill and we have the lake next there. So sometimes when, that's the point I'm opening for the international guests, they'll be coming immediately COVID issues are over. Actually, I was planning for October. We might even have a very important guest. I'm not going to talk about him now. I'll talk if he has confirmed, so that we can have international people coming. And then we get into Lake Victoria with the boats, especially early morning hours when there's a lot of evaporation and our body absorbs that moisture. That when somebody can fast as many days as they want, as they feel. When you are exposed to clean environment, clean water vapor that your body is absorbing. So this guy went into the wilderness. This guy that I'm talking about left home, closed everything, went to the Bible, and he's going to share his story. I'm going to be asking questions tomorrow. And his notebook, nobody else. As for me, I don't go into the village alone. I go with people. But for this guy, he went alone. Stayed there. He has funny stories, scary, because sometimes he said those animals would come to him, and stayed there for 21 days. I don't even think he has any knowledge about preparations. We are not going to take him to that area. Even Dr. Fidelov, he did this thing long ago, some time long ago, not recently. So I don't know about if he has done other fasts after the 21-day fast. And then he came back home. But for him, he was doing it for spiritual reasons. So he's going to give us the changes. He said after that fast, his life totally changed.
Wow.
Everything about him, about how he does things, about how he sees these religious leaders changed. He's not somebody that can be manipulated any longer. No manipulations again. Exactly.
Wow.
So we are going to listen to his story tomorrow.
Okay, guys. So yeah, so we will post it in the group, the Zoom links and everything. Vilas and the contact details of Frederick, you will find them below the video of this, below the recording of this webinar. So you will find everything that you need to contact him. Okay, Frederick, so thank you so much. It was so inspiring, uplifting. I'm sure that all the people who were present feel uplifted and inspired right now. And thank you so much. You're amazing. And thank you very much for the great job you're doing for humanity and for all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye. And thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.